Hey everyone, this is Robin. I'm here with your NEPA shows coming up this week on Friday, November 18th.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Break podcast. Ooh, hey Ben.
Hey,
how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I haven't seen you in
Honestly, it's been a week since last podcast. Like, we normally see each other way more often than that.
You're right.
I've been very busy.
Yeah, me too.
Lots of gigs this week. Actually, I have since I worked Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, I've worked every day this week so far.
Nice.
I hosted trivia last night, so that was
Nice,
new. That was fun.
Yeah, how'd that go?
It was really good. It was a nice little crowd. 279 loved it.
What was the topic?
It was just like general knowledge. I think my favorite though was now that the program I use for DJing has upgraded the stems thing, I was able to do a name that tune round, but I was able to remove the vocals.
Ooh.
So like it was like the extra hard round, and they destroyed it.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yep.
I've been trying to catch up on all the editing that I have to do for some clients, and getting ready to start shooting that full feature Nanacoke. We start next week on Monday. So really excited to do that. And then obviously we've got the big break interviews that we're doing. So trying to juggle all of these edits all at the same time. And then, we've got a takeover on Saturday at Litsy's Lounge. Right.
Back there. Yep.
Yeah. And then Sunday we're interviewing 6 more bands. So we're like, I'm just ooh,
some deep cleansing breaths and you will feel fine.
Yes. But today we have a guest, Matthew Cooper, a multi-talented artist from Jersey City, New Jersey. He's got a passion for art, animation, and music. Nice. He's had an early fascination with movies and animation that sparked his creative journey. He does graphic design as well. And I believe he lives in the area now. So, I'm pretty excited to get him on the show. But before we do all that, we're going to do our usual and start with a music video. And this is, I picked this video for us to watch specifically for our contestants. This is something that was shot in one day and edited in one day as well. I mean, it's super simple, but I think it does the trick. And this is Ted Hazard.
Before you play that though,
yes,
I'm thirsty and I don't want to wait.
Oh jeez. how
parched. I haven't had a drink all day.
Oh man. So
it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
So our sponsor, Kickstand, today we are having the charred pineapple oblano. All right, ready? On 3, 2, 1.
Cheers.
Look at him. That's Cambe, Solancha. Here's Ted Hazard.
Oh, that one's got all spiced.
Every time I look up, I break my goddamn neck. The vultures in line at the grocery store, waiting to pick up scraps. Spent a fool's ransom on things that I don't want. Libertarians all claim that this is just a front, and that line is getting longer, and I swear that I'll be first. And I'm feeling like Bill Connors, and every day keeps getting worse, and every day keeps getting worse. empty, not that they weren't before. We're all chugging disinfectant because they boarded up the liquor stores. My personal hell, the heat is on the rise. The rednecks are all pointing guns at the pigs that fly. And that line is getting longer, and I swear that I'll be first. And I'm feeling like Bill Connors, and every day keeps getting worse. And every day keeps getting worse. Call me Benjamin Button, everything's in reverse. You're on one too many quarantine songs, you're analyzed all words. Keeps getting, I said that day keeps getting worse.
All right, and that was Ted Hazard, and we've got Matthew. How are you, man?
Hello. Hi.
All right, thanks for hopping on the show today. Appreciate
Oh,
you
my
coming
pleasure.
on.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. So tell us about yourself. Where are you from? What do you do? Where all that.
I'm
great
from
stuff.
originally from Jersey City, New Jersey. I do live close by. I live in Nazareth, Pennsylvania now, and I moved here in 2016, and I was lucky to find some people I could work with and collaborate with Lehigh Valley Film Crew. I was able to work with Michael Judkins. I believe he was on the show before.
Oh yeah. He's he's actually the producer for Nanacoke, the movie that we're starting to shoot on Monday. So yeah, he's producing that bad boy. Yep.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to meet him, and he reached out to me. I believe it was 2018, and we worked together on a project, a music video, and it was great experience. But yeah, I'm from Jersey City, and I have always been interested in arts, whether it be just drawing, animation, movies. I used to sit and watch movies and imagine I was in them, and ever since then I've been trying to work myself inside of those movies some way or somehow. And I've been on that path ever since. Long time.
Nice. Hell yeah. So how did you when did you actually just start working on it? Like, what was your first experience actually working with either animation or video production in general, like your very first one?
I went to school in New Jersey. I went to school at it was called Anthem at the time. Now I don't think it's any longer, but I got a job from a teacher. His name was Art Capuano, and he gave me an opportunity to work with another local artist who lives in New Jersey, Lalisa. And I jumped on the opportunity. I needed gas money, and he said, anybody want to work on a project? I needed the money, so I didn't hesitate. I grabbed the opportunity, and I was lucky enough to work with her.
Nice.
And it was just, grab a camera and get there. I didn't even have a car. I called a cab. Cab took me there, and I just did whatever I had to do in order to get to that first job. And luckily enough, she enjoyed what I did. She was really cool, and I'm grateful for her for giving me that opportunity. And after that, I did future projects with her as well. But I do want to say that my first official set was with Michael Judkins.
Yeah, that's the music video you were talking about.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was
Nice,
pretty cool.
nice. Yeah, I like Michael. Actually, I like the entire crew that I've met so far.
Oh yeah, I met some really cool artists.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and there's a lot of talent in the area. A lot
Yeah,
of really, really like hidden talent, if you will.
right.
Um, so are you a musician yourself?
I have done music. I don't do it that often. I don't really do it that heavily now. I strictly focus on video photography and that aspect, and also moving towards animation. But I have an extreme passion for music, and I did do it. I was writing ever since I was a kid. It was just something I did as well with drawing and just always creating something, whether it be stories, music, or just cartoon figures. So I continued doing it, and eventually I got good enough where I felt like I can do something with it. So I started writing songs, and I started collaborating with other people that were writing songs, and we
Nice.
all thought we were good enough to get on stage and do it. So yeah, we created some songs. We performed. We performed at the Stanhope House in New Jersey. Um, I performed at the Coast to Coast in New York. I performed somewhere in Newark, New Jersey. I don't really remember the name of the club, but I had a few performances, and it was another one of those things where I just had to do whatever it took in order for me to get there. And selling tickets, I sold the tickets, I bought the tickets, just whatever it did,
Right.
whatever it took for me to get on stage, I did it. And
Nice.
so I was busy writing the songs, recording the songs, selling tickets. And man, by the time I got on stage, I was tired already
Oh
before I
yeah.
even performed.
Oh yeah.
That
You
tracks.
know?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of work that that's behind the scenes that a lot of people
Yeah. Oh
don't
yeah, a lot.
realize,
Oh yeah, a
until
lot.
you see it firsthand or experience it firsthand. It's there's a lot of little things, a
Oh,
lot of little things and a few
oh
big
yeah.
things, but there's
Oh
a
yeah.
ton. There's a ton to do.
Yep.
So when it comes to video production, what's your if we were to break it into the, three sections of pre-production, production, post-production, what's your where do you like to hang out the most? Like what's your specialty? What's
Well, I do mainly the editing,
okay,
post production. I
gotcha.
mean, I'll get involved in wherever I can fit, but
Right.
for the majority, I've done more the editing. People send me their files, audio, and I'll piece that together however I have to, and work on it from there.
Nice.
Trying to
Cool.
make it look nice.
Nice. Hell yeah. So I mean that really goes, obviously that goes well with what we're where we're at in the Big Break
Right.
contest season 4. And for anybody that doesn't know, right now we are in the first round of season 4. We give our contestants, we have 40 bands that signed up, so we give them 3 items that need to be included in their DIY music video. They can't pay anybody, they got to do it themselves. They can obviously enlist help, but it's got to be volunteer based. So we are in the 3rd month of the 3 months that we give them to do that, and today is the 8th. So they've only got a few weeks left before those videos have to be
They
in.
do.
Hopefully
They uploaded
so
something.
so I've seen some posts out there. Some are done with their video and they're just looking at a few little things before they submit. Some haven't even started shooting. That really scares me a little bit. Yeah. But like I said, that first music video that we showed today, shot that in one day, edited the next, done.
Nice.
Yes.
So I mean,
Nice.
it's not impossible.
Cool
But
voice with that guy too, by the way.
oh yeah.
Awesome. Awesome
yeah.
voice.
Yeah, Ted Hazard's cool dude. I like Ted. But so we're assuming that most of the bands are at least in production or post production at this point. What what was your, like, when you started video editing, right? What were some of the challenges that you had to overcome?
Everything, everything, everything was a challenge.
Is there any particular part that stuck out for you as surprisingly
Um,
difficult?
I think just getting comfortable enough to be creative, to having the confidence to believe that, you know, I can try different things, and just being comfortable. And again, Lalisa, she was awesome. She gave me the, you know, that free spectrum to say, you know, do whatever you do, you got it. And I was like, whoa, you know, and
I would imagine it would be kind of intimidating to trust yourself. Like, by the
yeah,
way, here's a full thing to do. Trust yourself that you know what you're doing. And you're like,
got
I
it.
don't, I didn't get it.
Well,
I
yeah,
was
but
like,
no,
whoa.
he's right. Matthew's right. You know,
Absolutely.
there's like a whole learning curve before you can get creative. You got to be like, yo, how the hell do I even use the
Right?
software? What do
Yeah,
all these
There's still
buttons
stuff-
and symbols and different
Yeah, it was a
things
lot.
mean? Oh my God. You know, it's very easy to just walk up to it and be like, this looks intimidating as
Yeah.
hell, man.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so like before you can even get creative, you got to know how to
Start
use the
working with weird
software,
stuff.
and you got to like
Right.
know how to do all this stuff and what.
Pray to God you
means
don't blow the
what.
computer up by accidentally clicking on the wrong button.
Right. What do you mean I undid everything?
What do you mean I deleted the master file? What master file? What's that?
Yeah, but I think a lot of it too is just doing it and sucking for a long time. And I mean, maybe if you don't suck, you're lucky the first time, but that too is just experience and just doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. And then eventually you look back at what you did before and you realize, hey, I could have did this differently. I can do, you know, I can change it up here, change it up there. I actually showed that music video to my daughter, and she was like, "Oh man, why does it look so old?" You know, because I had the box with the information and the artist's name, and
Right.
it started out like that because that's what I was used to growing up. And they used to say the studio's name, and it was in that black box in the corner. So
Yep.
that's what I did. And she said, they don't do that anymore. And so we sat and watched a whole bunch of music videos. And I'm like, you know what? I could have did that differently. So, I mean, again, it's like experience and just doing a whole lot of research. And eventually you won't make those box mistakes.
Yeah. So you know that actually brings me up to another question. Right now we're going through and we're interviewing all of our contestants, and one of the questions that Johnny Acapinti, he's our host for that. He asks every band the same question, and it's, do you remember MTV and watching music videos on MTV?
Oh yeah, I remember.
Oh yeah.
I sat and watched MTV all the time. It was popular. It was a thing to watch.
Yeah, back when they actually played music videos.
Yeah.
Pop-up videos on VH1.
Pop-up videos.
Pop-up video.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I remember that. I mean, that was the thing. That's where we got all of our music videos, BET and you know, Music Box and MTV and all those stations.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So a lot of the newer artists were born in after the year 2000, and they weren't around for any of that. Like, it was one of the trivia questions yesterday that I asked. It was like, when was Billie Eilish born? And it was 2001. And I was like, I graduated high school in 2002. And I was like, that stung a little bit.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
You're not alone.
Yeah,
You're not
that
alone.
hurts.
Yeah.
Both men together.
Oh crap. Anyway,
people that weren't born for 9/11, I don't even know if they're real people. I don't even, like, it's so weird to think that kids weren't, like, that's so odd to me. Right?
Yeah,
it's so odd to me.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Okay.
And right, like they're so young that they have no idea how detrimental it was, like, to people like us when we were there. And
I remember
they make
that
jokes
day
about it. I'm
clear.
like, stop
Seriously,
Yeah,
I
like
remember that day
Oh,
clear as hell. One of the
Yeah.
like
Absolutely.
most
like-
vivid memories
Right?
in my memory bank.
Screw analytical
Unforgettable.
geometry. I remember where I was sitting.
I was
second
getting
period.
ready for work. Yep. Anyway,
Yeah.
anyway,
moving on.
anyway, let's not go down there. So with video editing, what software do you currently use to edit?
I use Premiere.
Premiere.
Pro.
Nice. Yeah, I'm an Adobe guy myself, so I love Premiere, After Effects.
Yep.
You know, hell yeah.
Everything Premiere. I mean, everything Adobe.
They just work. They play so well with each other.
Yeah.
Even on the
You
phone.
know, so like it's.
I mean, nothing
That's-
against the other programs. I've used other programs, Final Cut, DaVinci, and things of that nature, but
right.
I'm like 99% Adobe Premiere.
Oh yeah. So when you're editing, do you have any advice for our contestants that are putting together their first music video?
Yeah. Take your time. Go over your edits.
Don't take too much time though, because they're
Don't take
due
too much time.
June,
You got
June
a
31st or
time
30th.
limit. You got a time limit.
June
Be
30th.
diligent. Be
Got
diligent. Drink a
3
lot of
weeks left,
coffee.
guys.
Don't sleep.
Right.
Get it done.
Take your time, but don't.
Just
Right.
be conscious. Be conscious of your time. That's probably
Right,
a nice way to say
right.
it.
There you
Pay
go.
attention.
Be conscious of your time.
Don't rush, but
Absolutely.
hurry.
There you go. Get it done. That's the business. That's the business.
Oh yeah. It
Work
is.
fast. Do it the greatest way you can do it in a short amount of time.
And tell yourself that you're supposed to be done a week before you're supposed to be done. That way, if
Yeah,
you're a procrastinator like me,
right.
you start on time.
So don't take your time. No.
Right.
But yeah, just pay attention. Pay attention to what you're doing. Make sure it's a product you can be a project you can be happy with, because you're gonna look back at that. So I do recommend losing sleep if you need to, drinking a lot of coffee if you need to, sacrifice. A lot of times you can't go certain places. You gotta plant yourself in your seat, get familiar with one place in order to get it done, or wherever you gotta go. But as far as the technical parts, I would definitely make sure that you are watching your cuts. Do L cuts, J cuts, make it interesting. Listen for pops in the audio. Make sure that the audio matches the action sequence. Utilize resources. Utilize effects. There's websites that have free sound effects. You don't have to pay for nothing. I mean, if you're working on a low budget, you don't have to pay for anything. All you need to do is download it. Go to these Google free whatever sound effects. They have templates. They have all types of stuff you can use to make your project stand out. And I would just be diligent about using resources for sure.
I do want to say one thing real quick. I always like to point this out when we hear the same comment from people on the podcast multiple weeks in a row. Make sure your sound lines up with what's happening on the screen. That's the third time we've heard that now. So
Yep.
guys,
Yeah.
that's very important. The more we hear it, the more we know it actually matters. So
Nothing takes you out of a music video more than when the snare doesn't hit when the snare is supposed to hit.
I immediately notice. Yeah.
You
Now,
you
don't
hear
think
the
that-
snare hit, and then on the upbeat, you see the
But,
snare hit.
Yeah.
I know.
Has to match.
It has to line up. It has to.
Yeah. And I mean, I've done a few music videos, and another thing I would definitely say is look for interesting. Make sure you're picking the interesting shots. I don't know who's doing the editing. I'm assuming that person is working with the people shooting. So I would definitely try to make sure that the shots are there's something going on, interesting shots. Use those shots. Don't have too much fluff. I mean, if a music video is only but so long, you want to make sure that you make use of that time. So there has to be, you know, colors, movements, um, you know, emotions, commitment any acting definitely has to have some commitment.
Yeah, you
So
can even take like a like, let's say you've just got a static shot, you know, that's, you love the shot, but it's you got to hold it longer than you wanted to, and it's like, man, I just need something in this. You can even
yeah,
do something as simple as like, as the kick, as the bass drum hits, you can like add a little blur effect that comes in and out, like,
right, yeah,
you know, just give it a little bit of motion, a little bit of movement without
yeah,
having to like reshoot or cut it in a place that you really don't want to cut it, you know. So like
right,
you can add those kind of things that don't take too much away, you know,
right,
but as opposed to taking it away, just add a little bit of,
Yeah.
we're still in this video, you know.
yeah, yeah. That's a good point. The transitions as well. Um,
Hold the
don't
attention.
overdo it. Don't overdo the transitions because sometimes that's like one of those things where it's a slow moment and the music in the background is like here, but the video is here. The energy doesn't match,
Right.
and transitions could be the same way. The transitions maybe just it has to make sense,
Right.
and it could be too much, too little. So put some thought into that as well.
Yeah, you also like when you cut, you know, I've always tried to cut on the action. So if there is an
Right,
action, you cut on the action. So for instance, you have a shot just like this of me reaching over to grab a cup of coffee. You know, I reach over and I grab it, but then you have
right,
another shot from here, you know, from here, close up to the coffee cup. So you would cut it when my hand comes in and starts to pick it up. So you'd actually cut on
See
the
the movement.
action as opposed to
We want to see you
wait
pick it
for
up.
the action and then cut.
right.
So
We want
Yeah,
to see you picking up the coffee cup. We don't want to see you reaching for it and then suddenly having it in your hand.
yeah,
right,
so yeah, when you cut on the action, it allows the movement to continue on as
Continuity, yeah.
opposed to taking you out and putting
right,
you back into the video. So
right. Yeah, cool. And I noticed one thing about the L and J cuts. It also allows you to kind of mix up the audio and the visual at the same time.
oh yeah.
It might be the video is too long or too short, and you can kind of like mix it up there, and it still makes sense.
Right. So for anybody that's wondering what a J and an L
I was
Oh,
cut
going to say,
is,
pretend I
okay.
don't know what I'm talking about. Just use your
right.
imagination real
So
hard.
I
Tell me
would
what,
say,
because
you
I'm just
would
picturing like an awkward, like, I'm like, that's not right.
right. So you would look at it once you make the cut. It would definitely. So if you got your
Oh, okay.
J,
There it is.
I get it now.
An L
yeah,
cut and a J
So
cut.
the part that you're cutting out, those where the two sound on the bottom connect back in is where you're cutting from.
Right. So
right.
camera A cuts to camera B, but you're still hearing the tail end of what camera A
Camera A is
So
doing.
those two tails would be where you're connecting to reach for the coffee cup,
right.
There you
and
go.
you're still hearing you talk as you're reaching for the coffee cup, right? Kind of.
Right. That
Well,
can
Well,
make
we're
two different things.
Well, I'm trying to make it. in
So
layman's terms
this
for
is
someone
good
like
for
me.
like if you have dialogue and you have two people talking. This is good for like interviews. Like I do this a lot for our interviews where Johnny is still continuing on with his question, but we don't see Johnny anymore. Now we're seeing our contestants looking at him and nodding their heads, and they, you know, he finishes his question and they start talking. So
Okay.
that's a L cut. So
Because you're cutting off of him to them, and that's why
right.
it extends over
Right.
to them.
And the other way would be we're still looking at the contestants and they're done talking. but we're still see them while we're hearing Johnny start his next question. And then like halfway through the first sentence or first few words, we cut to Johnny and we see him continue.
It's just a nice way of blending in the audio in with the
Right.
action that's happening.
Instead of cutting right when they start and stop talking, you have that
a little overlap to blend it. So it's a
Right.
smooth transition, not just a
Right.
jarring
It's not
jump
jarring.
from one.
Exactly.
Right,
Okay.
right.
That makes a
And
lot
this
more
way
sense.
you can also like Matthew was saying, you can also adjust your audio. You can switch your audio to a different thing because
this will let you also,
you can manipulate time.
Yeah, you can see you
Right.
can sync up that symbol crash with the wave file
Right.
Right.
and the symbol crash of what's happening on even from two different angles.
Right.
Right.
So this is what you use to sync those things up. Okay, that helps.
Or you can take out a long pause or an
There you go.
you know that
Ums
that
are
are
my
in
worst
there. You
enemy
take
ever.
those
Yeah.
out and squeeze it together so you don't see the because that's on the cut, that's past the cut.
Okay,
Right.
that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I
Good
a lot.
explanation.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I appreciate it because and I'm sure there are contestants out there hopefully watching this that are like, oh, that makes more sense now because I don't do this part of it. All my production stuff is always stage production, theater shows. So like the camera, the recording, like I have minimal experience with it. So like I guess I'm the layman here in the in this particular instance. So I'm you're welcome, everyone. I'm your translation service. Hopefully we all learn.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Oh yeah.
I'll get sued for that one. But yeah.
There's a lot of tricks. There's a lot.
There's a lot of things, some of the things that I've noticed with Adobe Premiere is if you've got a sequence that's at a different frame rate than the videos that you're putting in there are, you're going to have errors and it's going to freeze up on you and it's going to crash and this and that. So these are like, these are like technical things that like,
right.
You really got to watch out for. If you're shooting on 3 different cameras, make sure they're all shooting at the same frame rate, and then make sure your project file is using that same frame rate, because it's going to save you so much headache later on. Because if you're trying to edit, something that was shot at 24 frames a second with something that was shot at 2997 with something that was shot at 60 frames all in the same project, dude, yeah, you're gonna have a freaking nightmare.
It gets messy.
It gets really very messy, and you're like, why am I not seeing? Why am I moving the cursor?
Why is this jumping? Right.
Nothing's working. Yeah. So it can make you like want to throw your computer across.
Absolutely. Yeah, those are the details you got to pay attention to.
Can't afford to do that,
Right. Same here. Yeah.
But these are like technical things that you should really, things should match up as best as they can. When you're shooting, obviously, if you're at this point, it's a little too late. What you can do, if you do have different shots and different frame rates, what I would do is I would re-export that video just by itself at a different frame rate. So, your project file is still 60 frames per second, but then you do an export, and in your export settings, you change it to 24 frames and then use that file to edit with, just to save yourself trouble.
Yeah. Get creative.
Yeah. You gotta do something.
Push.
I feel like my first music video, if I ever made one, would have to be like just me standing in a field with like 4 cameras and just one shot the whole thing, and just edit the 4 cameras together, because I would be way too overwhelmed by all this, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, we're actually doing that for Nanocoke. We've got 3 cameras for a lot of the shots. We're setting up a wide, we're setting up a medium, and we're setting up a close-up. And
so it doesn't have to be.
So we can do one take, just a few takes and have all these different angles to work with, as opposed to setting up a different shot every time.
So even with our bands playing that are using just cameras on their phones. They could have, everyone's got a phone. If you got 3 or 4 friends with like the same kind of phone that can film from 3 different spots, you could realistically probably get some pretty cool shots even with everyone in the film.
In fact, there's a feature in Adobe Premiere where you can take your videos that are shot all different angles but at the same time. You layer them, you select them, you create a nest out of them. You right click and then you select multicam, you enable multicam, and now you can open up a second window where you see all these different angles. And as you're playing, you just click on whichever one you want to show, and it creates the cuts for you.
See, I love that so much because honestly, like in live theater and like even in bands playing in local venues, like we've got to do so much to draw the attention over to you to like get everyone to watch you. And like, but like when there's a video, you're like, I want you to watch this, and you like make people watch what you want them to watch. Like
in my videos, I will put watch here. Like I'll put font right there that says look here. Like I love TikTok to do that. Yeah. Just but like, I mean, like videos. The live bands in the area work so hard to get these people out to their shows, and they try really hard to like draw attention, and then you have to create a whole show. And we're talking about, you know, transferring that energy to a screen or recording. So like, you know, transfer it over, then edit it together, and you get to be so much more poignant as to what you want people to look at, as opposed to when you're, you know, just doing a live show.
But there's also like tricks and stuff, and you know, it really comes down to fundamentals of design, right? You've got your eye is always drawn to the brightest part of the screen, so you can light things specifically to draw somebody's attention to a specific area. You can use leading lines, you know, so you can like your eyes will automatically go to that part. You can use framing, so you've got like some kind of a frame, right? Like, hey, I want everybody to look at Ben, you know, so there he is. Right. So there's definitely, you know, things like that you can use to draw, you know, the attention.
The lighting can be your best friend. Even in a stage show, absolutely, lighting is how you do everything. Spotlight, zooming in real quick.
That's why I love lighting so much.
It's really
like,
fun. Honestly,
it's seriously one of my favorites.
I wish I'd gotten more into it with what I was doing with the theater, but yeah, absolutely, it's just. You can run Spotlight really well. Like I got really good at the zoom feature, just to have the person's face illuminated with an all black stage behind them. It's like, that's the moment.
I was on set with Lindsay Adler about 2 years ago. I'm not sure if you're aware. Do you know Lindsay Adler? She's a fashion photographer.
Okay.
And in New York. So I was there with her doing a workshop, and she had all amazing lights, just amazing lights, and I was able to learn a lot from her. And they were using so many different type of optical zooms and this and that, and it was fantastic. And the power in the lighting, the gels, there was so much
gels.
Oh yeah,
man.
Oh yeah.
So it was really amazing.
These days it's so much easier too with LEDs.
LEDs, yeah.
You know, I've got these newer, however you say it. I never say it correctly.
That thing.
Yeah. So those are all you know, I can control them from my phone, and they
if you want to see them in action, come out to one of the takeover shows on this Saturday. Come to Let's See's, you'll see them all in action, because he lights up that stage like the 4th of July.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Well, that reminds me, I gotta get more of my lights for Saturday too.
You know, I can do things like.
Oh, he's gonna make me look weird, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm gonna make it do things.
It's like
there you go.
I feel like I'm outside the past 3 days.
So yeah, you know, we got the cops rolling in.
You should do the whole podcast like that.
It's me having a seizure in the middle of a podcast for no reason. And an anxiety attack. Why am I blue?
So, but yeah, do you you know, let me ask you this. So do you go out to shows, Matt? Do you go out, check out shows at all?
Yeah. I need to go out more often, but I was going. Yeah. I don't get out frequently enough. I'm so invested to this chair, but I need to. So I'm looking forward to getting out more. I have my son here. He's 2 years old, and he keeps me in a headlock often. So, but I'm looking forward to getting out more and checking out some shows.
Nice.
There's a lot of live shows too.
Oh yeah.
We've got every week we have a segment where the bands and bars in the area that can actually submit their shows to us. Robin does a whole recording telling everyone what's coming up over the next week. So any bar in the area can submit their shows, or even the bands themselves can go on and submit the shows to the bars they're at, and we'll share it with everyone. So if you want to go out, there's a great way to do it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Here's the video for this week.
Hi, it's Robin with this week's original shows in northeastern Pennsylvania. On Thursday the 8th at Warrior Bar in Stroudsburg, Young Lion. On Friday the 9th at Finola's in Stroudsburg, Jamie Zaleski. At Jam Room Brewing in Greentown, All Day Special. At Breaker Brewing in Wilkes-Barre, Young Burgo Duo. At Embers Terrace in Mohegan Casino in Plains, Ken Norton Duo. At Breaker Brewing Outpost in Archbald, Chris Sansky and Bradley Phillip Parks, Night 1. At the Keystone Stage in Oliphant, Dead Reckoning with sets from 3 supporting bands. At the V-Spot in Scranton, Kali Ma and the Garland of Arms, Fiendstar and Little Star Run. At River Grill in Wilkes-Barre, Elephants Dancing. On Saturday the 10th, at Litzy's Lounge in Avoca, The Big Break Takeover, number 7, featuring Season 4 contestants Stereotyped, Intoxication, Docile Sponge, and All Day Special. At the Compound in Honesdale, Funk Musket. At Breaker Brewing Outpost in Archbald, Chris Sansky and Bradley Phillip Parks, Night 2. At the Stone Creek in Hunlock Creek, Justin Bravo and The Kind. At the Twisted Rail in Honesdale, Jay Luke. At Brewski's in Bloomsburg, Pat Motto. On Thursday the 15th, at Finnegan's in Scranton, Campanula. At the V-Spot in Scranton, Jeremy Burke. And at Public Square in Wilkes-Barre, Strawberry Jam, the Husty Brothers, and the Rice Crew. If you want your show featured on the next episode, go to thebigbreak.org/podcast and click the Submit Your Show button. That's all for this week. Make sure to head to a show, spread the word, and support independent artists.
Awesome.
Almost perfectly perfect.
Almost.
Almost.
Sorry, I'm just gonna correct something right now. Night 2 for Chris and Bradley at Breaker Brewing is at Breaker Brewing Company. They have 2 locations, not just 1, but 2, with original music, 2 nights in a row. The second one is in Wilkes-Barre on Saturday.
That's fucking journalism.
Good to know.
That's journalism.
But I do hope that everyone comes out to see our takeover this Saturday at Litzy's Lounge in Avoca, because that's the important one to me. I love you all. I love all live music, but that one matters to me. So,
yeah. Who do we have? We've got
Docile Sponge,
All Day Special, Intoxication, and Stereotype.
Yep.
And we've got, let's see, Stereotyped interview is out, so you can check that out by going to our YouTube, which is likely where you're watching this now. I don't know. Docile Sponge we have interviewed already. I need to edit that bad boy. I believe Intoxication we're interviewing on Sunday, and are we doing All Day Special too on Sunday? I believe so.
I don't remember. I don't do the interviews.
There's so many bands.
I take that day off to go work at my other things, which is something.
It's
really for anyone who has been under a rock and not paying attention to the takeovers that Big Break was doing. We, like AL said earlier, we have 40 bands that have entered this contest, and a bunch of them have volunteered to perform for free at various venues in the area that we booked out. So that we've got up to 4. I think actually we're up to, starting next soon, we're up to 5 bands playing each night. And they're bands that are competing, and they're doing it just so they can reach new crowds, find new people, and they're doing it for free. So, we ask, come out, support them, maybe throw a little green in that tip jar to make them, at least have gas money home. We can't afford to do it, but we're trying to take care of them. Kickstand will be there, though. I believe free samples of Kickstand. Try it out, see if you like it, then buy it. We'll have it for sale at Litzy's. Yeah. My personal favorite is the smashed raspberry Serrano. I think you said yours was the peach, right?
Yeah, I like the peach.
That's the
that
hot
one's
one.
that's the
full name. Peach. I can never remember it. It's on the box right behind you.
Charred
Peach Chipotle.
Torch Peach Chipotle. That's it.
Yeah.
Damn it. Yeah. So I like the medium level heat one. He likes the hot one. The roasted jalapeno cucumber, though, is the most subtle flavor, or least spicy, the most mild flavor.
Yeah. I'm not, yeah, the torch peach is definitely my favorite. I really like that one.
I like the raspberry one because I actually get more of the raspberry fruit flavor to it. So
I gotta try
enjoy that one a lot.
Itself, and then,
This video, this is the interview of Stereotype. So, you can check that out. That and Johnny there.
It's on the tube of you.
Every morning
So,
before school,
yeah.
catch them, watch
Go
them. That's
check it
what
out.
really-
So love that Fireball. I love that Fireball too. But I don't like to drink Fireball.
Fireball burns.
Fireball
No, actually,
burns.
there's a reason why I don't drink Fireball because Parade Day. Because there's a bar that always has it for like $1 specials.
Oof.
Oh God.
And we listen, we always say we go by the rule. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So it's just one beer at each bar that we go to. And we're like, once we hit the bar around noon, then we're allowed to start doing shots. And it's always the same bar every year at noon. They've got the $1 special Fireball shots. And sometimes we make it till noon before we start doing shots. We don't count, the Irish Guinness drink that I'm not going to say because it's actually really problematic, but we don't count that one. We don't count because it doesn't count quite as a shot. There's beer involved, so that counts as a drink. But yeah, the Fireball, not my favorite anymore. But these aren't spicy.
Yeah, I remember I used to back in the day when car bombs were, the shots where the
I remember those.
That was the one you were trying to. So yeah, like I used to. So I'm from Israel. I was born in Israel.
Oh,
so I
cool.
used to tell people whenever they would offer me a car bomb when they were like really big, the hot thing to do or whatever, I'd be like, "Where I am from," I'd be like, "Where I am from, you can normally only have one car bomb."
Please don't cancel us.
Don't cancel us.
Oh, that was amazing. That was cool.
Oy vey. These are my people. Look, this is my people. Okay, stop it.
Which people? The Russians or the Jews?
Yes.
Okay.
There you go. Good answer.
I am both. Yes, I am in constant internal conflict. Let me tell you.
Right.
So anyway,
if we need any more sympathy, he's also a vet. So like,
I'm also a vet. Yeah. So yeah,
he's just stuck in his ways,
in trouble,
everyone.
man. I'm just in trouble. Don't cancel me. I love you. Thank you. Hit like, subscribe, and all that great stuff. If you have any complaints, talk to John Fry.
End ad read. End ad read.
Other social media platforms. Definitely at this address that's going to be on the screen.
No, that's definitely not us. So anyway, dialing it back in, Matthew. Do you have any final words of wisdom?
Just keep doing it. Keep doing it.
Keep doing it.
I dig
Good
that.
advice.
Keep doing it.
Keep going.
Just do it, like Nike used to say, right?
As long as you're moving forward, you're still moving. So
just keep doing it. Yep. Don't stop. Hard, easy. And most of the times it's not easy. Just keep doing it.
No, I'm a true believer that anybody can really do anything if they really want to. Because if you really want to do it, you'll put in the extra time. You'll try again and again and again. You'll, doing the research isn't work for you because this is something that you're interested in. So you're just gonna go and you're just gonna dig and go down that rabbit hole, So anybody can do anything. I believe that.
Absolutely. I hope everybody working on these challenges, give it their all, and anybody who didn't start to record or to
y'all give me anxiety.
Get it started, get it finished.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I know this is I'm wondering how, like, in the past, if there have been issues where, like, I know you've told a story about one or two, but like, how many bands have just ended up losing, like, not losing the first round just because they just never submitted? Has there only been one or two?
So no, it's
happen a lot.
About a third of the band.
Hundreds.
A third. The last 3 seasons, about a third of the bands that sign up do not submit a video.
Wow. And do they contact you? Is it usually just because they just
more often than not, they do not contact, and they just
kind of fade out because they couldn't make it
right.
Now I wonder if so that's I'm gonna go ahead and then take that as a moment to say upload what you got when you got it. Because if you're not going to submit it, let it because you didn't do any work at all, not because you did all this work and ended up forgetting to upload it, or it got deleted 2 days before, or something. Like, at least upload something every couple days, just so you have something in the system.
Better than nothing.
Yep. Yeah. You can get votes with somebody there. You can't get votes with nothing there.
Right.
So
and it won't ever be perfect. I mean, there's always going to be something you could have done differently, but at some point you got to say, this is it, submit.
And I think, honestly, a lot of our fans know. They know this is it's an amateur music video. They know this was something you've never done before or have very little experience with. They don't expect to see something that will be on MTV 30 years ago. They expect to see something that would be on, like, a TikTok or YouTube, something simple that's not crazy. Like, if you can make it look cool or do some extra special effect to make it better, awesome. If you can't, no harm. You still got your following. You still promote that to your friends and family and everyone else. You don't have to be great. You just be better than the other guy. That's all it is. That's all we care about.
Yep.
Like,
and sometimes the other guy doesn't even submit one, so you're already a step ahead by just submitting.
I mean,
So submit.
The next one will be better.
Sorry. My bad.
So Matthew, I know we've talked a lot about production and post-production. Do you have any projects or any current things that you want to plug for yourself, or any way that people can contact you, reach out to you to maybe do something with you, involve themselves with you, that you want to share with the class?
Oh yeah, check out my website, MatthewArtCooper.com. There's a link to YouTube there. I'm on Instagram as well, m.art.cooper. I trying to do more animation on the side at the same time, trying to do more video, editing more videos, filming, staying busy. So me and my fiance have a project that we're working on, another animation about Mexican history, and so I'm trying to do something different. Just creating different worlds, whether it be film, animation, or even photography. So yeah, keep
Very
checking us out.
Sorry, I had one more really important question. I'm looking at your background. Which Ninja Turtle's your favorite? Because this tells a lot about you.
Oh man, that's a hard question. If I had to pick one, it'd be Leonardo. If I had to pick.
If you had to pick?
If I had to pick, it'd be Leo. Because
I guessed that, honestly, I did. Strong leadership skills, takes charge.
It's the only choice.
Plans everything. Yeah. I'm a Donatello, so
yeah,
I just like pizza, man.
That too. That's part of the me.
I just like pizza.
I love them all. I love them.
If there's a part of me that has never grown up, it's the fact that I love pizza. Like, I love pizza. Like, you don't understand.
I wish we had the footage of us
like pizza.
After my birthday.
Like, you don't get it. I love pizza. Like, I can eat that every single day.
Oh man. Oh yeah. I'm with you. 100%.
Hell yeah, man. So yeah, dude, really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, yeah, we're coming to an end here. What do we have next week? Oh,
next week is the week of.
So next week,
just me and John, isn't it? Or
I think it's just gonna be you and John Fry, maybe. I don't know.
I'm gonna be in Boston.
So it just might be you, Ben. I don't know. We got our shooting schedule for next week. And I believe that on Thursday.
Who am I interviewing?
Next week. Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, we're shooting till like 7 p.m. Estimate. Oh no.
6 to 11 on Thursday.
Yeah, no, 11 p.m. So yeah,
so it's just me.
It's just
interviewing
you.
someone next week. Who am I interviewing?
I don't know.
You don't have
I don't think we have anybody scheduled.
It's just me for an hour.
Yeah. So
I can fill an hour. I'll just ramble. I got people. I'll call someone.
Maybe Robin and I'll hop on from the set and give a little bit of behind the scenes type stuff, but I gotta make sure to clear it with PR and everything from the movie, and follow the right channels there.
calculator.
But that would be cool, huh?
We'll figure it out.
Thursday is the day, right, Robin? Is Thursday the day we don't speak of? It's the big day.
So, well, while you don't speak of the day, right? She's like, I'm out. What's the last band that we're having? What's the last music video that we're gonna play? Because it's almost 9:00.
It's almost 9:00. You're right. We'll discuss. You know what? Okay. If you're out there, there's gonna be a cool ass movie coming. We're shooting it in Nanticoke.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. So the last music video that we are playing today is Radio Riot, Midsummer's Night.
Stepping on cracks. Misfits on her Spotify. Now listening to Nickelback. Well, her religion is bad and her Charlotte is good. Her plan is simple and she wishes she could meet Johnny Thunders, Joey Ramone. Do they look like the posters she has at home? She's mine. Midsummer Night's Queen, my dream. In the punk rock scene. Tattoos down her arms and legs. The space is in between. With her ripped up jeans and her battle vest. And the beating heart right out of your chest. She's mine. Midsummer Night's Queen. My queen. Tour back in 2005. Saw the Offspring and the Murphys. Yeah, she thought that she died, that this was heaven. God's upon the stage. While that pretty little bird just couldn't be caged. She learned to love and she learned to fight. She learned to play guitar and she started to write her magnum opus, a song about life. The story of her, I'm gonna make her my wife. She's mine. Midsummer Night's Queen, my dream. In the punk rock scene. Tattoos down her arms and legs. In the spaces in between. With her ripped up jeans and her battle vest. Tear the beating heart right out of your chest. She's mine. Midsummer Night's Queen. My queen. Midsummer Night's Queen, my dream. In the punk rock scene.